It's time for ACC Central, presented by Just Means Less.
I drive into right. It's enough. It's back. And it's gone for the cycle. It's a walk-off grand slam. Florida State wins it.
Hosted by Monty Taylor.
In the air, center field. Moore is under it. And on to Omaha for the Cardinals.
Micah Butel.
Line ball driven into left field. Spin. Does he do it? He does. A walk-off homer by Ken Schmidt.
And Nick Dioli.
Gets it down. Here comes Micah. He is safe. And Boston College wins.
Fastball off the plate for 2 balls, 2 strikes. Monty just got landed on.
There are 2 pigeons roosting right above me, and my can of Pepsi.
Smacked into right field. And
Welcome back, college baseball fans. We are 2 days away from opening weekend. It is season 3, episode 1 of ACC Central. And boy, do we have a great 4.5 months of baseball to come. I'm joined by Micah Butel and Nick Dioli. We are previewing the opening weekend. It is our first regularly scheduled episode. Micah, how you doing, buddy?
I was doing great until I saw Nick's shirt. Nick, can you take a step back in the frame a little bit so I can see your shirt? I'm officially just absolutely depressed because I have that exact shirt, Nick. The exact shirt, but Big 12. So I'm now learning that the merchandise for the ACC and the Big 12 championship are the exact same, and that makes me sad.
I can't figure it out.
Besides that, Monty, I am wonderful. How are you, Nick?
I am fantastic. I had to text you guys because I was just riding the high of last night, talking ball with you guys again, our draft. And now I'm just so excited to be back with the boys.
Micah. This draft that Nick is talking about has not occurred yet. It takes place tomorrow night. Anyway, Micah, my guy, Big 12 Micah, as you just made sure we were aware. If last year was the year of SEC Micah, this year is the year of Big 12 Micah. Which to be fair is fine because Big 12 needs some love too.
You know what's crazy, Monty? Is I might be the first person to be able to say that in 3 straight years he saw 1 power conferences every team in their conference play. I saw every SEC team last year. I'll see every Big 12 team this year, every ACC team in 2024. So
guess what you got to do next year?
Great. Can't wait.
All
I
right.
heard Minnesota's great this time of year.
Oh man, I do love me some Golden Gophers. They're on one of my bandwagon teams, but the weather there right now, or most of the year. All right, let's jump right into it. The first game of college baseball appears to be an ACC game, also Big 12. So we've got Wake Forest taking on Houston at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 Micah time. It's going to be fun on a bun. The Demon Deacons taking on Houston, Washington, and Indiana State. I know this isn't the most. This is a more difficult opening slate than they normally have. It's not super challenging, but you would expect Wake Forest to be able to go 3-0. But it is a nicer test than I think they normally have on opening weekend.
No, I mean it's definitely more challenging than they've had in recent years. But obviously that first game is Houston. Houston's a team that I'm very down on the Big 12. They lost a lot. They lost the best closer in maybe college baseball, if not for sure the Big 12. They do have some returning experience in their lineup. My favorite thing about Houston, for those of you that don't know, the starting first baseman, CC Sabathia's son.
Yep, who was at Georgia Tech before. Who's the
closer? I forgot that Karsten was at Georgia Tech. So
who was the closer?
I am, of course, drawing a blank on his name now.
Tony
Anton Jean.
Okay. You threw me off because you're like best in the Big 12. Remember, Tony Pluto was in the Big 12 and won stopper of the year last year. So
yeah, well, Anton Jean was first team Big 12. I think he was pitcher.
They that's interesting. They must have both been interesting.
Right.
That's wild.
Either way,
Either way, it threw me off because I was like, huh? Yeah, Anton Jean. Now that you've mentioned it, I know who that is, but I wouldn't have been able to.
But yeah, that's a program. I mean, look at this. I mean, I guess Monty, in your opinion, which one's the toughest one for Wake? And like you look at it, of the 3 games.
I don't know enough about Indiana State, but I do know Washington is on the up and up. However, that doesn't necessarily like. I'm not saying they're a tournament team. You know what I mean? So it's hard to say, but yeah, it's just Wake Forest should be able to handle them. It's going to be they are one of the 6 teams that have announced an official rotation for the weekend. We've got Blake Morningstar as expected. Chris Lavonis is going to be the guy on Saturday. Matthew Dallas on Sunday. We thought Lavonis might be the midweek guy with Cam Bagwell in the weekend, and it turns out Cam Bagwell is not on the weekend. But Chris Lavonis, who we've heard a lot about lately, not a huge surprise, but it was just hard to figure out how they were going to get one of those guys left out. So it'll be Morningstar versus Houston. So have fun with that, Houston. And then Chris Lavonis will be taking on Washington, and Matthew Dallas will get the ball against Indiana State.
Nick, what were you thinking? You're wearing the couch hat.
Yeah, probably the wrong hat to be wearing. He won't be at the couch for the first time in a long time. To open up a weekend, open up the season. But yeah, I think this is fun for Wake. I mean, they have had this long period of stretch of games to start off in the season where, they bring in some Northeast teams, a couple of bottom of the Big Ten teams, and they do this round robin.
Don't go too far because we've got 2 more teams to talk about that are in this. So
yeah, correct.
So make sure you save some for Boston College and State.
Yeah, I'll save it for them too. But I'm just saying that it's nice that Wake goes down there, kind of, it's a change of pace for the program. I think I've been told that they've been invited to other tournaments as well in years prior. They just have never done it. So I think it's very exciting. I think if you were to pick a team, I'm kind of with you, Monty. Washington kind of showed some life last year in the Big Ten. Like they were kind of a bubble-ish team midway through. But I think it should be a 3-0 sweep for Wake Forest.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be interesting to see. We don't really know enough. It's always on paper, so it's interesting to see. We could look back and laugh at ourselves, thinking that this, some certain teams are bad when they end up being good. But I'm with you. I think Wake Forest 3-0. I will say that all 3 teams the ACC has in Puerto Rico will be playing Washington. That's the only one that they all play together. The other ones, it's 2 and but yeah, I'm going 3-0. Micah, you with us?
Yeah, I mean, I think Washington is the best team that they'll see of the 3. Washington, I think, is a team that's going to be a sleeper in the Big Ten, but they're by no means I don't think they're a tournament team as of yet from the conversational pieces. And again, this is a Wake Forest team that if they are a potential regional host, this is one of those you got to jump off on a 3-0 start. So it is cool that college baseball gets to open the year with Wake Forest. How fitting would it be if the first game of college baseball is Wake Forest and the last game of the season's college baseball is Wake Forest? Nick, we're going to manifest that now. We're gonna run back 2023 together in Omaha.
We can. That was a lot of fun.
Let's go ahead and stay in Puerto Rico. NC State also there. They will open up against that Washington team that Micah just talked about. Then they have Indiana State, another common opponent, but then a different one, Seton Hall from the Big East. When I did my Diamond Report thing for Seton Hall, they were kind of hard to figure out. I think I had them middle of the pack towards the bottom maybe of the Big East. I think there were 3 teams in the Big East who were clear. They're clear tournament threats, and then the rest were kind of below that caliber. Seton Hall was in that category. So, again, it's a harder slate than I think. Who did they face last year to open up? Kinesis, I think.
Yeah, it was Canisius, yeah.
Yep. So this is a little bit more of a challenge, but you still expect them to go 3-0. They haven't announced the official rotation, but we expect it to be Marone, Duden, Heath Andrews. I imagine the order. I mean, we don't know necessarily the order, but it'll be those 3. Micah, you want to go? You want to go next? Thoughts on this series or these matchups?
It's similar, right, to what we just talked about with Wake. I mean, I think when it comes to Washington, I don't think they've announced the starting rotation yet. I'm leaning probably at Jackson Thomas on the mound in that one. That's probably their best arm. Washington's a big portal team this year. A lot of that lineup comes from different spots. Their second baseman, Ty Cowan, was at Incarnate Word last year, obviously at Southland School. So I know of him. But, this is a team that, again, I think they're headed in the right direction. But we're talking about an NC State team that we feel is Omaha caliber. So this does feel like 3-0. For Wake Forest and NC State both, I think a losing weekend would be a real serious red flag. I mean, 2-1, things happen. Yeah. But if you don't win the weekend and have a winning record heading back home, that's going to be a tough pill to swallow for either of these 2 teams.
Yeah, I like that. 1-2 is a red flag. It doesn't necessarily mean your season's over because obviously you can bounce back from that, but it tells us a lot more about them than it gives us concerns, and could be a precursor of things to come. Nick, are you on board with that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be 3-0, just like Wake. I think you guys bring up a good point. Last year when State was in the Jacksonville, the one that you went to, Monty, State was favored in that and dropped all 3 games, and one of those being a very, very, very bad Ohio State team. Now, State did bounce back, and this is an easier group. But I will say, I think going into that round robin, State was the only ranked team at the time, and they were favored to win all of those games, I believe. Was Coastal ranked or Alabama?
I can't. Alabama was ranked, I think, but I can't remember if Coastal was at the time or not.
Gotcha.
If they weren't, they were about to be.
We can pretend like Coastal was. I mean, they were a national runner-up, so
yeah.
The
fact that they whether they were ranked the second weekend doesn't matter. We know what they were at the end of the year.
And that's my next point. What you guys just said, everything's on paper, and on paper that time last year it seemed like State would have won it all in Jacksonville, but I expect them to go 3-0 here at 2-1. Again, sky's not falling.
Yeah, but NC State fans will act like it is, even if
I will act like it is 100%.
And friend of the program, Andrew Cube, says he will manifest the 2023 end of the season with Wake there. But yeah, I'm with you guys.
Natty, though, Andrew, that's the only difference.
Yeah, that's the only difference. There you go. But yeah, no, on paper, it's funny you mentioned the Ohio State being really bad because I thought they played really well in Jacksonville. And if it wasn't for like an 8-run comeback by Alabama, Ohio State would have won the Jacksonville College Classic with those 3 tournament teams. I mean, you had a national 8 seed, a regional, a big 2 seed, and then you had 2 big 2 seeds. So just kind of crazy.
What's crazy is that like that week after the tournament, I actually met an Ohio State baseball fan. I was like, why are you walking into my life right now? Like, he told me that he used to play for Ohio State, and we talked about the tournament down there. And he was like, yeah, I don't know how we beat NC State like that.
All right. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Moving along, Boston College versus Seton Hall to start. Houston and Washington. They were picked 16th in the coaches poll. We didn't necessarily agree. None of us had them last in our power rankings. Nick's bold take has them in the NCAA tournament. So we're going to find out immediately. And obviously this is not the last test for Boston College because their biggest test comes when, the beginning of March when they're in Florida. But if they go 2-1 or 3-0, how are we feeling about Boston College? If they go 3-0, we're feeling pretty good, right?
Oh yeah. I mean,
oh yeah.
I think the their expectations just bumped down with the Wake and the NC States. 2-1, great. 1-2, okay. We'll see. 0-3, red flag.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's kind of where when you factor in expectations, right? I mean, I think they're better than Seton Hall and Houston. I think Washington's the one I'm kind of we'll see, but again, it's going to be they're definitely the most interesting team in Puerto Rico for me, just from a what are they standpoint.
And what do you think they're going to do?
I'll go 2-1. I don't think Washington starts the season 0-3. So just for the thought of Washington there, I feel bad because they're getting all the ACC teams, but we'll say 2-1 for Boston College.
All right, Nick, what about you?
Yeah, I'll go 2-1 as well. It would be hard to see Washington lose all 3 games to the ACC like that. But 2-1, I mean, I still feel pretty good about BC's hopes down the road. Even 1-2, you're just kind of feeling like, has anything really changed? I know it's still early, but like, is it going to be Boston College before conference play like we usually see? I don't know, but I feel confident that they'll go 2-1 here.
I'm going to go 3-0. I'm going to go ACC goes 9-0 in Puerto Rico.
Love it.
Let's go. Yeah, I'll go 3-0. So love that. All right, Wagner at Virginia. We don't have an official rotation there, but it's expected to be Kyle Johnson, Henry Zatkowski, Max Stammel. The fact that Kyle Johnson is going to be the Friday night guy, and it has me thinking I might need to go watch his first start against Wagner to see where he's at, especially with all the hype that I've given him and written about him and how important a resurgent year is for Kyle Johnson. I might need to go to that Friday game to see him pitch. But Virginia should go 3-0 here. It's going to be interesting with the weather situation, but they should be able to handle this. I'm going Virginia 3-0. Micah?
Virginia 2-1.
You just can't go 3-0. It's just that's the non-conference like easy opponent version of picking against them. You're hedging your emotional.
I really like what Craig Neto, the head coach there at Wagner, has been doing. Like that's a very good program. Like
I know, but it's I mean,
like that's them in Long Island are the powerhouses of the Northeastern Conference. Okay.
To be fair, you do not have. To be fair, you do. You are the one of the 3 of us that does not have Virginia in Omaha.
I was getting ready.
I've been using the same logic. I also said his name. I was Craig Noto, not Neto. I don't know why I said that, but it doesn't matter. I just thought about that. But with the whole like, I'm doing the same thing with Mississippi State. This is a new team. This is not like it's going to take some time to get your feet wet, and it just seems fitting that there's going to be a reason for people to start freaking out way too early, and losing to Wagner is going to freak people. I'm not worried about it. If they go 2-1, my opinion of Virginia has not changed. I think
promise?
They're capable of getting to Omaha, but I also don't think they're going to get to Omaha.
All right, I better not get texts.
You're still going to get texts. You're going to get
well, that's true because some of them is trying to pull a reverse jinx too. So it's a little. That's true. It's tough with you. It's hard to tell what's real and what's
honestly,
not.
Though, this weekend it'll be. I was right. I told you. Don't sleep on Wagner. Don't sleep on him. So
if they go 3-0, Micah, are they going to go to Omaha? You're putting a lot on this series.
No.
You're putting. It sounds like you're putting your opinion is swaying a lot just on the first series of the season.
3-0, Nick, right?
Correct. Yeah, 3-0.
All right. Let's move on to Western Michigan. Oh, wow. I knew immediately. I'm like, there's a letter missing. Where is it? And I'm like, oh, Pitt's View. Sorry about that, Pitt. This is what I get for actually trying to spell out Pittsburgh.
Guys, Monty hates Pitt. That's what we're learning. Picks him last. Now he does this.
Come on, man. All right, they're in.
No. I get to have my victory lap here for a second because you gave me all this hard time about Georgia Tech and all the free gear I got from them and how I turned my back on them and you picked them up in their toughest time. And now you've done that to Pitt. After they gave you all that gear and all that access, you're turning your back on them. Crazy.
I've never given you crap for Georgia Tech. And now I'm also confused. When were you on the Georgia Tech thing?
Oh yeah, never.
No. This is in Port Charlotte again, I believe. It's definitely in Florida. I think it's in Port Charlotte again, where Pittsburgh has opened up the year. It'll be a 3-game series.
And
Pittsburgh,
you won't be able to watch it, or is it on Flow? So you won't be able to watch it either way.
Yeah, that's a good question. I have not checked that one.
According to ACC, it's on Flow, which means you won't be able to watch it.
Yeah. I'm going to go Pitt 2-1.
Pitt sweep.
You know what? You're right, Mike. I don't know what I'm thinking. I have to. Yeah, Pitt sweeps. Micah goes Pitt sweeps. I go Pitt sweeps. What about you, Nick? Are you clean sweep for Pitt?
Nick will go clean sweep for Pitt in the Bad Boys Motors Bowl. Because that's what this matchup just looks
hilarious.
like to me.
By the way, RIP, because that bowl game doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
Guys.
Yeah, I did see that.
I know, yeah.
All right, moving along.
Honestly, Nick, that's a tweet. We need to tweet that on Just Means Less. Be like the Bad Boy, like they should be like we should tweet the site of Western Michigan Pitt this weekend. Just have Ford Field and be like, oh wait.
All right, we got Maine at Duke, 4 games with a doubleheader on Saturday. I'm hoping to be at the doubleheader. Duke has announced their 4-man rotation. As expected, it is Aiden Weaver on Friday, and then SUNY Cortland transfer Matt Notchowitz in the first game Saturday. Dayton transfer Ben Dean, who they're really high on, will get the ball in the second half of the doubleheader. And then Andy Leone, who I want to say is a Chicago transfer. They have so many transfers that I probably got the school wrong. Let me see. It is Columbia, Ivy League transfer. So Andy Leone will be the 4th guy. So it's an interesting situation with the with the 4 games, but this is a way for them to avoid some of those double midweeks later in the year. And so it's going to be interesting to see how the pitching depth, which is a concern for Corey Muscara, handles this 4-game weekend. I'm going to go 4-0.
I will go 4-0 as well. I think Maine's not a bad team to where they can mess around and go 3-1. I'm not going to really freak out about it, but I think opposite of what I said about Virginia, I'm very low on Duke. I think if Duke comes out and sweeps Maine, I'm going to start going, maybe I was wrong about Duke being the worst team in the ACC. Maybe.
Nick, you with us?
I think I'm going to go 3-1. I'm going to give Maine a little respect. I feel like they could get one of those doubleheader games.
After all those burritos that Moose had bought at your family restaurant.
I know. He hates Moose.
He left me. I love you, Moose.
He's not watching.
He was watching. He tuned off as soon as he heard that.
As soon as he heard that. Or actually, no, he's probably praising Nick. He's like, good. He gives us a little wiggle room if we lose one.
Moose lives and dies by my word.
I will say I'd be a lot more confident going undefeated if this was 3 games. That 4th game just makes it a little bit harder to do, obviously. But overall, I mean, if Duke's offense is as good as I think they are, they should be able to do this. All right, let's talk about Georgia Tech hosting Bowling Green. I think we all have Georgia Tech in Omaha. We all should be predicting a 3-0 sweep, right?
Georgia Tech 1-2.
Yeah, Micah's like, I believe they're going to get to Omaha, but they're going to struggle right out of the gate first.
Y'all remember, though, Bowling Green last year, I think had the 2nd longest winning streak in all of college baseball at one point. It was so – I'm not saying that's, like, why they're –
I know. The problem is –
strange, like, of all the teams, like, Bowling Green got hot last year for that, like, weird, like, 25-game stretch in the MAC or 30-game stretch, whatever it was. I remember it being, like, a big, like, ordeal. It was like, is Bowling Green the best team in college baseball? Some are asking.
Yeah.
But no, I think Georgia Tech will find a way to get it done.
By the way, their official announcement of their rotation, we've talked about it yesterday, obviously, but it is Tate McKee as expected, Mason Patel, who is Nick's choice for ACC Pitcher of the Year, and then freshman Cooper Underwood, who was drafted in the 12th round by the Brewers. He's going to be the Sunday guy. So Georgia Tech will have those guys against Bowling Green.
Monty, also Georgia Tech can do something that's never been done before. Do you know what that is?
Sure, tell me.
They could end their season and start their season with wins over teams from Bowling Green, as their last win last year was the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers from Bowling Green, Kentucky. So there's a random fun fact.
And you don't know if that's actually true, though, right?
No, I
You
looked
have
it
not
up.
done the okay.
I mean, all the way
Sure.
back to 1957. So, I mean, if it happened before then I mean, good on them, I guess.
Yeah. All right, Nick, you with us 3-0?
Yeah, 3-0.
All right. William Mary at Virginia Tech. I believe because of weather, this has changed a little bit. It'll be a Friday night start and then a doubleheader Saturday to get the full 3-game series in. Either way, I'm going Virginia Tech 3-0. I have my bold take is them hosting a regional. I'm excited about the pitching staff. I think they're going to play really well. I'm taking Virginia Tech 3-0. Nick?
I will also take the Hokies 3-0. If I have this team hopefully going to be a top 25 team, they got to start off hot.
Micah? I almost said Nick again. All right, speaking of Kentucky, let's head out to Louisville where they open up against the Michigan State Spartans of the Big Ten. In terms of some of the opening week, it's one of the few Power 4 on Power 4 series. It's one of 2 Big Ten series versus the ACC. But Louisville 3-0.
Sweet.
Louisville 3-0.
All right, that was easy peasy. Is there going to be any type of scare in there at all?
I mean, maybe if Louisville doesn't have their pitching staff set up right, but like they don't know exactly who needs to do what. But I mean, the thing with that is I just think even if they give up 10 runs, they're going to score 13.
Yeah. And how many bases are they going to steal? 100?
17.
Yeah.
Ooh, break their record from last year. All right, moving along. Army at Clemson. We know that Drew Titsworth will not be starting. He's out with from what it sounds like, a very minor injury. It sounds like Canuck and Talon Bell are going to be good to go, and Michael Sharman may be the other guy that might get the start. They haven't officially announced anything, but that's what it's sounding like. Either way, I mean, Army's going to be in there for the Patriot League title, as they normally are. It'll be probably between them and Navy, but this is Clemson, and Clemson at home should take care of business. I'm picking a sweep. Micah?
2-1.
Oh.
I think this might be silly, but there was a lot of, and maybe it was just Clemson Twitter and then just being blown out of proportion, but the whole complaining about having 20 home games in February and then the 10 games in March and the 10 games in April. It's like, again, I'm not saying they're overlooking Army, but like last year, right, they opened in Arlington, a lot different setting than what they're opening here. And again, Army's a good ball club. That's the other thing. It's not like Army's a bad, like of all the mid majors you could play this early in the year. That's a team that, again, they don't have a lot of transfers out, so it's a lot of
Preston Barr is legit.
Yeah. Again, like, I mean, 3-0 should be the pick, but like again, if they go 2-1, I'm not, my opinion of Clemson going to Omaha does not change. Like, I just think that this could be one of those get rights or get me spots, catch me kind of sleeping. And again, Army's a good enough ball club to do that.
You know who went to Army?
Connolly Early.
Yep, 2023 College World Series participant Connolly Early. Boston Red Sox.
He pitched against, or he didn't get it. I don't think he got to pitch against Army, but they were in the same regional.
Yeah, I can't remember if he did or not. I think it was.
I don't think he did.
I think it was Nick Parker.
Yeah.
That was. I mean, it's funny that I always love the Connolly Early thing because what they did with Connolly Early was so unfair to midweek teams. Because what they did is Connolly Early got to slowly adjust to the level of competition and pitch in midweeks for the first 12 weeks of the season or whatever. And then as soon as exams happen, they put him in the weekend rotation after he's dominated against George Mason and Georgetown, and the confidence is at the top of the world. And then he just continues on from there all the way to the major leagues, basically. So just It always cracks me up that set the wins thing, but the best bro prospect was the midweek guy. All right, James Madison at Florida State. I did hear something about George Mason's coach really liking this year's team, maybe one of the best versions he's had in Harrisonburg, which they've had some tournament teams. So they're in the Sun Belt, but are they going to be able to take a game at Florida State? Micah, we'll start with you. I'll actually end mine with my pick. So I'll let Micah go first, then Nick.
Every preseason poll has James Madison like 10th or lower in the Sun Belt. So I'll trust the coaches and the other experts out there. No offense to James Madison's head coach, but a lot of coaches say this is the best team I've had in a really long time when they're trying to get hype. So I will believe that Florida State will sweep. There
you go. All right, Nick.
Yeah, Clemson 2-1, first of all. Thanks.
Got him.
We weren't talking about Clemson. We'd moved on, Nick.
Oh, well, I guess the train left without me.
It did. Sorry. My apologies. That's pretty funny that you didn't say anything until just now. All right. Yep.
Well,
Clemson 2-1.
And you guys were both looking down like, okay.
Your hand goes up. Like the screen's not showing enough of your arms.
Oh, sorry.
So like when you did it, you went like this. So it's like if we didn't see the initial thing. But anyway, yes, Clemson 2-1. So I'm the only one that has a sweep. But tell me about Florida State JMU. You going to sweep there?
Yes, I will go sweep there.
Yep, I'm with you guys. Sweep Florida State, undefeated to start the year.
Can I ask real quick, just to go back to the Army thing? Was last year the first time in a while they did not make the NCAA tournament?
I'm trying to remember. I want to say they went to the tournament 3 straight times.
Yeah. But I don't think they made it last year.
No, Holy Cross did.
Got it. Okay.
So, all right, Notre Dame at Florida Atlantic. This is a big matchup between the Owls and the Irish. Notre Dame testing themselves early. Obviously, they've got the Jocks College Classic in the second weekend, but Notre Dame hasn't officially announced a rotation, but we can expect Jack Raydell for sure on Friday. After that, it's anyone's guess, but I like Notre Dame. I think they're going to go 3-0. But it's not a huge deal if they go 2-1. Micah?
Yeah, I think I'll say 3-0 too. No, 2-1. 2-1. I think FAU is a sleepy good team, and again, like
I think they are too. I think
Notre Dame is kind of in a spot where they're still trying to figure some stuff out. So, again, like you said, 2-1 is not going to like. Again, it goes back to the 2-1. Good on you. 3-0, great. 1-2, okay. We'll keep an eye on it. 0-3, red flag. They could honestly lose this weekend. I'm not going to like freak out.
Yeah, especially when we talked about that stretch of ACC play that they have. If they continue, if they go 500, or what? No, it wasn't even 500. I think it was if they go 7-11, they can and kind of balance it out in the easier slates. They can be in good shape. So that I think the most important thing for Notre Dame is that stretch there. But obviously, a 2-1 or a 3-0 start here against like you said, a pretty good FAU team would be huge. Nick.
Yeah, I'll go 2-1 here for the Irish. I think it's good if I like what Micah said. They're kind of in the similar boat with Boston College. Get out of there 2-1. Opinions don't change. Everything's fine. It's a classic Notre Dame spot where they start everything down in Florida. Last year, they were at North Florida. I think they went 2-1 there. So yeah, I think they'll go 2-1 again. I think they'll be on the right track.
Love that. All right. Another one that should be fairly easy. Miami has officially announced their rotation. It will be AJ Siskar on Friday, Lazaro Cholera on Saturday, Tate DeRias on Sunday. So 2 of the 3 guys that we projected is in there, and then Lazaro Cholera over Rob Evans. But I think Miami's going to sweep 3-0, no problem. Micah?
Since I haven't received my Miami hat, they're going to get swept. No, I'm just kidding. Miami's going to sweep.
Nick?
James, if you're watching, text me back, buddy. At least let me know that, like, you don't hate me. I feel like he hates me.
As he should.
Valid.
Miami 3-0.
All right, pretty easy. All right, let's head out west to the desert. All right, now this is a little misleading. The first 3 games are part of the Desert Invitational in Surprise, Arizona. So it'll be Stanford versus Arizona, Michigan, Oregon State, and then they play a non-conference game in Scottsdale against Nebraska on Monday. I am gonna go 1-3 here. I don't have as much belief in Stanford as you guys. You think they go over? Wow, I feel better about my
Arizona,
pick.
top 20 team. Oregon State, top 20 team. Michigan and Nebraska, 2 sneaky good teams. The more I read on Stanford, again, a lot of question marks with Stanford. And if they hit, great. But they weren't. This is the wrong stretch to start the season with. Now, Monty, let's say this though. Let's play the other game. If they go 3-1 in this, are we buying into Stanford as potentially a top 25 team again?
I refuse. We probably should if we're taking if we're taking it in just the context of this season, but I refuse after last year. But in terms of we were just
you doing it. You buying in 4-0?
No, I'm refusing. I will need more. I refuse to be bamboozled again. I put a lot of faith in them. I was talking them up. I picked them to go to Omaha. It was So even if they start 4-0, I will. I'm probably lying. I'll probably buy in immediately. Nick,
Give me 2-2. Just
Wow.
a little. Maybe
Who are the
they
2
catch
wins against?
Nick is back, baby.
Stanford, Nick.
Stanford Nick. I think they might catch lightning in a bottle somewhere to get that second win. You never know.
Love that. All right. Santa Clara at Cal. It's a 4-game series. The Cal Golden Bears, they have announced their rotation. It is as expected in terms of the first 3 guys. It is going to be Oliver De La Torre on Friday, Ethan Foley Saturday, Gavin Eddy Sunday, and then our best friend TBD on Monday. I'm going to go 4-0.
Go Nick next. Let Nick talk.
Nick,
Nick
go ahead.
Talk, Nick. I want you to talk.
I will go.
All right, Micah, what do you got?
No, go ahead, Michael. We're all waiting for
No,
you.
no, Nick, go ahead.
I will go 3-1. I really dig Cal's starting rotation a lot. All those guys coming back. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Micah?
I'll go 3-1 too. I always think those Monday games are kind of weird. And I mean, Santa Clara's, they were an NCAA tournament team 2 years ago, probably top half of the West Coast Conference this year. So we'll say 3-1.
Love to see
4-0,
it.
and I'm going to start printing the Cal to Omaha shirts.
Are you going to go 4-0 or are you picking 3-1? Stick
No,
with
I'm
one.
saying 4-0. I'll start printing the shirts.
Oh, okay. All right.
Omaha.
All right, last one series I will be at, Indiana at North Carolina. North Carolina has announced theirs. Again, no surprise. Jason DeCaro Friday, Folger Boaz Saturday, Ryan Lynch Sunday, and I think Indiana's lineup is legit, but they're going to be facing a really, really good pitching staff right out of the gate, and then I think their pitching staff has some major question marks, and I think North Carolina, who I believe has a great offense, is going to light them up. So I'm going to go 3-0 North Carolina.
Yeah, the expectation for the rotation for Indiana is a guy who gave up 16 earned runs last year at Missouri, gave up 6 runs in Toledo, and then their top returning arm is either going to be, or their top arm, I guess it belongs to them, is either going to be a freshman or it's going to be a guy who had above 6 ERA last year. Like you said, there's a lot of question marks. Shout out to our guy, Noah Beanick. I read a lot about Indiana in the Diamond Report because I was, again, trying to figure out a little bit more about them. And, they're definitely a young team with some talent. I mean, their lineup is like all sophomores, I think. So, like, a really loaded group there. But, I mean, North Carolina is more loaded offensively, too. This kind of screams what happened last year with Texas Tech. And I would argue Texas Tech may have been better than Indiana is this year. Maybe they might honestly be very similar. Like,
Yeah, I don't think they're necessarily worse, but
team,
yeah.
But like they're probably on the outside looking in at the end of the year. So yeah, I think I'll lean again. Was it 3? This is a 3-game, right? Not a 4-game.
Yep.
So 3-0 sweep for the Tar Heels. Plus Monty, you're there. North Carolina loves winning when you're in attendance.
Yeah, that's true. They would just ask Wake Forest. Oh man, I think they scored. Yeah, they scored 35 runs in 2 games that I was there for against Wake Forest. Sorry, Nick. Sorry, Grant, if you're watching, which you're not because you're in Puerto Rico. But yeah. But
you're saying they don't have Wi-Fi in Puerto Rico? That's so.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he's not watching.
They're not there yet, but he's probably.
But yeah. I am really excited to see this Indiana lineup over the next 2 weeks because I'm going to see them in Jacksonville as well. I'm seeing 6 of Indiana's first 7 games. I think they have a tournament caliber lineup, not a tournament caliber pitching staff, but of course, we could have some surprises. But Nick, what are you doing for here? Is it going to be a clean sweep?
I think so. Yeah, I think they just have too much talent against Indiana, pitching, hitting, fielding.
Yep. All right. So that's going to wrap up our previews of each one with our picks. Obviously, not a ton of big series. Obviously, we got a handful of ones. Then obviously the Puerto Rico tournament, and then Stanford with their huge games. But we're expecting some big performances from the ACC this weekend. X Factor time. It's our first X Factor of the year. Let's start with pitchers, and we'll go with you, Micah. Who do you think is going to have a monster?
Just to reiterate the rules, we can't use the same guy at all the rest of the year, or we just can't go back to back. I forgot how that worked.
We don't use the same guy ever again. So,
because I was leaning AJ Calaruso.
I will reset at conference play. We'll just do non-conference being different from conference.
Oh, thanks, Monty. Well, then if that's the case, then I'll go AJ Calaruso because I think Boston College has to get at least one in Puerto Rico, and Seton Hall on Friday seems like the one that you have to have. So I will lean AJ Calaruso and the BC Eagles.
Love it. Nick?
I'm curious to see how Mason Patel will do at his first real start. So I will go Mason Patel.
You just love Mason Patel, man.
He really does. I do. Mason, if you're watching, send Nick an autographed jersey. He will sleep in it.
I'm a big Mason Patel guy.
I'm going to go Aiden Weaver.
Okay.
So I think.
Are we going to loop back to me for the hitters?
Do you want to start off with the hitters, or do you want to go last?
Well, I want to start off with the hitters because I'm going to keep the Duke trend going.
All right.
That's why I was asking. I am going to go with R.J. Hamilton for Duke.
Ooh, I like that one. R.J. Hamilton.
See what he looks like after obviously his no real stats at Vanderbilt. Highly touted kid. Would love to see what he does for Duke. Again, if Duke is going to have a big opening weekend against Maine, get the Corey Muscar era started right with a 4-0 weekend, I think he's going to have at least a good weekend. Maybe not great, but good weekend.
Absolutely. Nick?
If Stanford is going to go 2-2 down in the desert, I think it's going to be because of Jimmy Natai.
But you drafted Marsh yesterday instead of Jimmy Natai. Oh, wait. Oh,
Tatum Marsh.
Did I say Bobby? I did.
Yeah, Bobby, you got that. You got Duke on your mind, man.
You got Duke on your mind, pal.
I did.
Stanford Nick.
On my mind. Actually, I got Moose on my mind. That's what it is.
I'm going to go back to one of the players that I am most excited about seeing. And we mentioned him in our preview show yesterday. I'm going to go Mark Quattrani against Florida Atlantic, catcher for Notre Dame.
Nice.
I like it.
So there you have it. We'll have to figure out who our fourth person is picking X Factors, whether I know Kaylee loved doing it. Maybe we'll invite her, maybe Sav, but
I'm thinking who we should go with. You don't know who I'm thinking?
You could be thinking a lot of different things.
We should definitely get the Wall at Clemson to pick for you. They see a lot of the game. Get it? Because you can't see games at Clemson. I was just trying to make a Clemson joke. Oh, that's what Monty could see. He just couldn't react. That makes sense. Monty's so butthurt about the wall. No,
Should
I had a suggestion, and then Monty, I realized if I said it out loud, you'd have chastised me on the podcast. So I was like, I'm just not going to say the name out loud.
All right, so we'll figure out who our fourth person is. We'll have 8 X Factors total. But we'll be back tomorrow night with our All-Star Draft, our preseason All-Star Draft, what we do in lieu of preseason all-conference teams, which everyone's done already. So we're doing something a little different. Nick and Micah drafted a team, and I picked up the scraps. So tune into that tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. And we got power rankings out. We've got I've got the questionnaire article out, which is, if you didn't watch the show last night, you just want to read it, it's out.
I'm trying to understand which one of us said that Clemson's an underdog yesterday? Because if it's about my take, I just said that Clemson will be the last team standing in Omaha, which I think is a take. It's not that they're an underdog.
I have no idea, man.
But I don't remember.
I have no idea.
And Nick didn't say, I don't know how. I never said they were underdogs. I just said it'd be the last team standing in Omaha.
Canes Cats Heat's coming back in here with fire ablazing, boys.
Yeah,
he hasn't said a word the entire episode, and then right as we're wrapping up, he's jumping in there.
Yeah, just saying that Clemson's going to be the last team standing in Omaha doesn't mean they're an underdog.
I said Clemson's underdog?
Yeah, he's saying Clemson. You said Clemson's an underdog.
When did I say Clemson's an underdog?
He was saying that Clemson's not projected to be in Omaha like they have been normally by most people. Like, I guess that makes them an underdog. But, I don't think he said that. Maybe, Monty, you said underdog, but you meant, they're just not the hot – last year, right? Everyone had them in their Omaha 8. Now, nobody except for, me has them in their Omaha 8.
No, I did not say that. That's outrageous.
No, Monty was trying to tell me it wasn't even a spicy take.
Yeah, I was – that's crazy.
There's a better hot take. Canes Miami goes winless next year. I'm kidding. Gonna start just spraying the board right now with hot takes.
Oh yeah. Anyway, we'll be back tomorrow night, and 2 days till first pitch. But until then, it just means less.
Bring back the dab.